Hey guys, today is going to be a little different. I was challenged on Facebook by my buddy Bill Thompson. You've actually seen him on some of my videos. He was having a detecting slump, and he decided to take his Fisher F44 out to his backyard and to see what he could find, and he found some nice stuff. I think he found a military button. I don't remember if it was World War I or II. He found a silver rosy dime, and I think it was an 1898 Indian head penny, all in his backyard, and kind of pulled him out of that slump he was having. Well, he challenged me on Facebook, because you see my videos, you know, I'm in a slump myself, a long, drawn-out slump. So he challenged me. He said, "Go check your backyard. You live right there. Why not check it?" Well, I have been in my backyard before, and I've used it to try out new equipment. And I found some pretty interesting things already. The problem with my yard is, before I ever lived here, it used to be used to keep old junk cars, and it's been cleaned up since then, and it looks a whole lot better now, I'm sure. But those parts are still here. I know that because I keep finding the copper pipes and the spark plugs, car parts, which ring up very good. I mean, you gotta dig those signals. But I'm gonna give this a shot, see what happens. And to keep it on par with Bill's challenge, I'm going to use my Fisher F44. See what we can come up with here. Here we go. When I dug my hole, it was an 89 signal on the Fisher. And I started pulling all these pieces of concrete out. I don't know what these are used for. They had little dished out areas. I don't know what that was used for. Looks like it's probably hand poured. I don't know. To get to the bottom, to find that thing, I don't know what that is, but it's not giving up an 89 signal now. It's just trash underneath all that. That was a little weird. I guess I need to get as much of that back in my hole just to keep there from being a divot there in the future as I can. But we'll keep going. My next hole, or target, is a big old chunk of iron of some sort there. You can see all the rust coming out off of it. And it goes across a large portion here, so I'm not going to dig my yard up to get that out. But I kind of expected that, ran into that before. But we'll keep going. I just got my first coin. It looks like a dime, and it's kind of coming out shiny. So take a look. Right there. Oh wait, that is a Canadian dime. What does that say? Does it say 87? That is a 1987 Canadian dime, and it came out looking really nice. I thought it was silver, and I don't think it is now. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's not. But this soil is kind of sandy, so maybe that has something to do with the way it came out. I don't know. Very cool. Alright, so I found a coin. Look at that, I keep wanting to flip it like a US coin. Whoop, oops, upside down. Gotta spin it this way. I may have found something kind of interesting. At first I thought it was just a bit of wire or something. But then I noticed that right here it is pinched off and flattened. Almost like it could be an old crochet hook. Ah well, if it is, it is. If it isn't, it isn't. No harm done. Keep going. Hear that rooster? I get really tired of him. This dig is brought to you by the letter M for Mike Noble Diggin' channel on YouTube. Seems like a while back I got a letter B or some other letter. Don't know what. I dug it because it was the same signal, like a 63, 65 on the Fisher F44. It was the same signal as that Canadian dime, but it's a letter M. You see that? That is a chimney for a crayfish den. That is a good 25 feet. I hesitate to show you this creek because even though I try to keep it clean, neighbors above me dump stuff that comes down. Right there, that is a good 25, maybe more feet away from this creek. That's kind of far, isn't it? Awesome. Let's get back to our dig. If I clean this up a little bit, because it looked like it might have been something interesting. It just looks like it's some kind of an electrical component. But I don't know what from. Probably something to do with an old car. My Siberian Husky wanted to come out to be with me while I do this, so I let her. That's a snow dog in 90+ degree heat. But she's not wanting to come back in, I guess because I'm out here. Pretty dog, isn't she? I just found, I think, it's a penny by this tree. Yes, it's going to be a memorial. It's going to be a 1979. It's going to be copper. Second coin for the day. I just found a 1964 memorial penny. It's about 5 inches down. I found a 1967 penny. That's the year I was born. I'm about ready to call it quits today. I just found something very interesting. I gravitated to my front yard. I did some detecting. I figure, you know, there's traffic between the door and the vehicles. And at least in one case, they didn't get any further than the vehicle before they had to turn back. Because they lost their keys. Look at that. That is pretty cool. I have no idea how old those are. I have no idea, but those look pretty old. Cool. Alright, that's going to have to be about it. It is a bit warm. I'm spending more time out here because I can go in the house and get something to drink and cool off if I want. But I got other things to do today too, so that's going to have to be it. Very last find for the day is going to be a 1976 D memorial penny. Kind of cool. Alright, let's do a wrap up. It's going to be a wrap up, guys. You can see car parts. I'm sure that's off of a car, I don't know. Got parts of reflectors here. That actually came out of the same hole this did, so I imagine they kind of went together like that. Some old car trim. Some kind of electrical component there. And there's good stuff for today. It's right here. There's that letter M. What I think is a crochet needle, I guess. I don't know. And I found these 3 pennies. They're all copper. I found this zinc penny, which I didn't get on video. The surprise find was that dime. It's a 1987 Canadian dime, and it came out of the ground very nice. It came out of some sandy soil. I have a little bit of sandy soil in this area, or in a part of my yard, and one of these pennies came out of sandy soil too, but didn't come out looking nearly as nice. Don't know why. And then those car keys. Those look pretty old. And I'm gonna clean those up and see if I can get any information off them, but if those look familiar to a specific car to anybody, let me know, okay? Because I'm curious how old those are. Well, that's it, guys. Bill, I guess you won that. It wasn't really a bet, but that challenge. You won that challenge. You found some nicer stuff than I did. But you never know until you get out, right? And I did find some interesting things. I had fun. I'm sweaty. I'm hot. I'm going to go in and get a nice tall glass of cold water. That sounds really good right now. But that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little dig. It's a little different, a little closer to home for me. But I had fun. I hope you enjoyed it too. I'll catch you next time, guys. Bye.